Hello and welcome. Lovely to see those of you joining on Zoom, and welcome to those watching the recording or the live stream. We do this every week, same time, same place, same link even. So once you've registered once for the Zoom, you're welcome to just use the same link each time. And I really enjoy this half an hour each week just to touch in, really, to have a little reminder or some moments of silence together, and to have a sense of meeting, true meeting. Mm. Mm. And I always love to start these sessions with just having a sense of who is here on the Zoom, which of course it's different. When you join on the Zoom, you're a little bit participating, even though we don't have actual dialogues in this time. The idea is that you are more with me in this. I love to speak to you actually and see your faces. Whereas on YouTube, I can't see you. So it's a bit more abstract. And so for those of you here on the Zoom, if you feel to just in the chat to write a word or two or a sentence maximum about how you're feeling right now, what's happening for you, what you're exploring lately, just whatever is here, what is the internal weather in this moment. And it doesn't have to be a long story. In fact, preferably not a long story, but just a word or two, just so that I can feel you, that it's not, we're not just flat images on a screen, that they're real people there. So, yeah, just feel free to type something in the chat. Kati, I feel anxious and a bit lost. Yeah, I understand. Stefan, in the mind. Yeah, happens. Dennis, feeling present and excited whenever I forget to be scared. And then we have two Dennises. Another Dennis, feeling rushed today. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, you're welcome to write more as we get started, if you feel to. And if there is a question that arises in you during my talk, then you're welcome to type something in. I won't necessarily be able to respond to everything, but I will have a look at it and see if I can kind of bring that into what I'm speaking. Yeah. But before I start that, let's just take some time to be still and silent together. So just get comfortable and we can gently close our eyes and start by taking a few deep breaths into the belly. And if you feel on the exhale to have a sigh or make some sound, you're all muted. So you're welcome to make some sound if you feel. Especially if we feel rushed or we've been carrying a lot in our day, or if there's a lot of feelings, emotions, or sensations, just give it the time and the space to really be here and be felt, be seen, be met. But just honoring whatever is here with your attention. Nothing more is needed, no doing, no becoming, but just noticing what is here. Noticing the sensations, the emotions, and also noticing thoughts. But if you notice that the thoughts are telling long stories and going off into some kind of dreamy fantasy or memory or imagination, you can just gently bring the attention back to what is presently appearing. And that can even be just the appearance of this thought. And whatever you notice in this direct experience, it is all welcome to be here just the way it is. It is all already included in presence. In who you are as life itself. And again, we can bring the attention to the breath, taking some deeper breaths again. And with each breath, feeling the contact with the ground or the seat that you're on. And when you're ready, we can open our eyes. Yeah, so today the theme is you are human and infinite, absolutely infinite. Yeah, and this is the paradox. This is the paradox of life. But it seems that when we come to the spiritual path, we are often attempting to escape the human experience, perhaps because the human experience is uncomfortable or painful, or it feels limited or restricted in some way. Perhaps being human in your human life hasn't gone so well for whatever reason, and life is confusing and traumatic even. And so then naturally we want to find a way out, a way to make it all better, a way to soothe our suffering or remove it completely. And this is one of the main reasons that people come to the spiritual path. I would say it's not the only reason, because there can also be a deep longing for true freedom. But even with that, there can be a lot of suffering when we have a deep longing. It can be very painful to feel that longing. So often both of those reasons can even come together. And so then we come to the spiritual path, and we might have some beautiful experiences of realization, of awakening, or a sense of oneness, wholeness, seeing that I'm not limited to my thinking. And then we suddenly kind of see ourselves to be back here, like awareness of it all, infinite, untouched by anything that might happen in your human lives. And it can feel like, wow, I've got it, I've arrived. Because when we identify with back here, then all the human drama at first can seem like it's totally irrelevant. And we perhaps don't even feel it that much. Or if we do, it's just very light. And at first, this can be very blissful. And at a certain point, something happens to change the experience. And maybe we start to experience more pain or fear or something uncomfortable again, or something happens in our lives that brings us crashing down to the ground again. And then we try to get back up to that detached spaciousness that was so easy to be in. And we think that we've failed or that we've lost it, we've done something wrong. But the reality is that when you come crashing down to the ground, actually, this is a very natural next step of the awakening that goes on and on and on our whole lives. So it's not that you have arrived and then game over, the spiritual path is done. It's that you have recognized that you are not limited to just your human experience, which is amazing, right? Because when we believe we are just this small me limited to this body in this perception, this life, then life can feel very painful and separate. But then the opposite is just a basic first step, I would say. Not that there are really steps in this process, because it can be circular even. And it's different for everybody. But still, what is often seems to be a common theme is that people think that they've arrived in this awareness state, detached state, and that is somehow rejecting or denying the human experience. So when you come crashing down to the ground and you start to feel your humanity again, it seems at first that you've lost that awareness detached state. So you're trying to get back there. But actually, you didn't lose anything. How can you? It's who you are. You are the absolute. You are the infinite. You are life itself, always. You can't lose that. In the same way as you can't get it, you can't become it, because you were never not that. But it can seem to be that there is a recognition which often comes with some kind of experience. And it's different for everybody. And sometimes the experiences are some big explosion of, some big aha moment. And sometimes it's just a very gradual kind of stepping further and further back, or phasing further back in your identification. But then you don't lose anything when you start to feel your humanity. You actually start to see the whole picture, not just a part of it, because the human is the infinite in human form. Yeah, the infinite is playing at being the human, so that it can know itself like this and like that and like this and like that, in so many ways. We express our infinite nature through our human sensations, emotions, even thoughts, through our interactions, through what we create and express in our human lives in apparent time and space. And in fact, our humanity is an area of exploration, an amazing and an infinite area of exploration for who we are, to continually open and open and open to itself. So through our ups and our downs in our human lives, we feel, we go through challenges, we achieve certain achievements, we fail, and we love and we hate, and we have conflict and we have resolution and everything in between, right? And it's all opportunities to meet ourselves and to know our infinite nature in this moment, even right now, through even the very sensation of sitting here on this seat, listening to what I'm saying or watching this video. It is the absolute infinite watching or listening or sitting here. And then there's also this human body, this human experience, with whatever that includes. And sometimes it does include old patterns and conditioning and wounds and fears, traumas. And all of that is part of our journey in the human relative play of life, to keep exploring And each one of us have different challenges, it seems, in this life. And our challenges are unique to us so that life can know itself through this particular unique challenge, or joy, or love, or connection, or whatever it is. And as we explore our human nature endlessly, and we keep seeing that I am not limited to the human. In fact, I am the infinite. I don't ever move from back here. But at the same time, I fully feel and I'm fully in this human body on the ground, feet on the ground, present with whatever is here. And this is actually what we most deeply long for, to live the freedom of who we are as that in our human lives, as we discover that lived freedom. So we know our ultimate nature as freedom, and then in our endless opening to our human experience, we discover what it is to live that freedom, to continually wake up out of old patterns, out of old beliefs and assumptions, concepts, meeting all the different parts of ourselves, all the little children that are playing out here, meeting all the ways that we can express ourselves, perhaps all the ways that we stop ourselves from expressing ourselves. And we live more and more freely and openly as love, actually, because that's what it is to be absolutely human and absolutely infinite. This is what I call love, because it's life itself, loving itself as this human, not as a beautiful concept, but in the mess of being human, in this sensation, whatever it is. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mm. I find actually that this really is the essence of what I love to speak about, really, this paradox. This is really, yeah, this encapsulates my work, I could say. I mean, of course, it is the nature of life itself, but this expression here and this human is that she loves to express the infinite, who we really are, but also to explore the human. Yeah. Because both are aspects of who we are, both sides of the same coin. Hmm. Yeah, I see, Stefan, you've written, my humanity seems complicated sometimes. Yes, I can relate. Yes, humanity is apparently much more complicated than our true nature, which is just simple. It's just wide open. But in fact, when we meet our humanity as it is, it's also just as simple. It's just that we get used to complicating and overthinking, believing our thoughts, in fact. And that's where the complication usually is, right? or in other people's thoughts or ideas about how things should be, that also can cause complications. But it's still down to you how you take that, how much you believe in those complications and take them seriously. Essentially, it's all simply a play, right? We're playing, it's one big playground, this human world. And we can play at being serious, even. We can play at being heartbroken, and we can play at being complicated. But we're just pretending. Hmm. So before we end for today, you're welcome to once again write in the chat how you are in this moment. If anything has moved or changed or not, also. Kati, very touched. Thank you. Thank you. Dennis, feel like laughing. Don't know why. Thank you. Yeah, don't have to know why, right? Just enjoy. Yeah. Will, brilliant exposition. Ex yeah, I don't know if that's what you mean. Thank you. Expression, maybe. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. It's been a pleasure. And see you again, same time, same place next week. Okay, lots of love.